My husband, about 30 years ago, was working for Wendell Castle in his woodworking studio. And then Wendell approached him to make the chairs for him. So he did all the manufacturing of Wendell's chairs.
Look, I don't know shit about what you brought in today. You say that these things are chairs. To me, this yellow thing looks like a holder for a giant toilet bowl brush. I mean, look at it. It's huge. It's so big that this edge here comes off the table. Maybe there's something underneath this that I actually know something about. Nope, never mind. This... fuck, I don't even know. What is this? It's red. It's got bumps. It probably hides its own rashes pretty easily. I'm absolutely confident, though, that this black thing is a single ice cube tray. In terms of how much this is all worth, what year did you say these were from?
About 1969, 1970.
So they're about $1,969 to $1,970.
Wow.
My uncle was an art student in Chicago in the early 1960s. He and his fellow art students went to salvage pieces like this, and it made its way down to St. Louis then.
Well, this is a traditional carpet that's made out of iron, like they used to back in the Iron Age when they were making everything out of iron. It turns out that iron is a terrible material for carpet. It's very cold to walk on, the metal digs into your feet. It was just a terrible idea to make a carpet out of iron. In terms of how much this is worth, I mean, they quickly realized how terrible and worthless of a product this was, and so they really didn't make that many of these. So they're incredibly rare. And for that reason, they're worth a lot of money. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, you wouldn't need to work anymore for the rest of your life if you sold.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What would you do with the money?
Buy a shit ton of lotto tickets.
My mother passed away in 1980 and we inherited this.
You know, I am so glad you brought this in today. This is such a beautiful piece. Medieval knights used this as chainmail for their ballsack. I know it may not seem like it belongs to a suit of armor, but it totally does. It did a wonderful job of protecting the balls from being impaled by a spear or a sharpened carrot. Unfortunately, the knight would still feel 100% of the pain if he was kicked in the balls with this on, so the balls were still vulnerable in that sense. So how it works here is you open up the cap and you open up the mouth and you slip in your balls. The mouth here is so small that it's making me think the owner only had one ball. Whether or not this was for the right nut or the left nut, I can't say. Do you still have the armored condom that this came with?
No, I don't.
Condoms these days just don't offer the type of protection that the armored ones did. If you had the entire set, this would be worth a lot of money. I'd say this is worth about $1,000. But if you can get the smell of ball sweat on it, you could easily double or triple its value.
Hoo-ha.